Hey Scorpio, so I'm back. I tried to go live the first time, but my baby boy wanted bananas and a whole bunch of other stuff. Okay, so this is a career and finance reading for my Scorpios. So we're just gonna get right to it. I'm gonna get started with some signs and synchronicities. These are things to just look out for in matters regarding your finances. So if you get numbers, of course, I'm going to give you the numerology meaning of those numbers. And then if you start to see these numbers, it's a possibility that Spirit is highlighting these numbers in this reading because you might see them frequently, especially regarding your career and finance, or it could just be specific to this reading that you're seeing it. They might play a significant part in the message that is getting ready to come out. However, if you do find yourself seeing these numbers or these signs and symbols regarding your career and finance, pay attention to what you were doing at that time, what you were thinking, how you were feeling, to give you a little bit more insight as to why those messages might have appeared. So you got the number 2. 2 is about duality, balance. I guess I'll put it right there so you guys can see it. 2 is about balance, duality, cooperation, relationships, harmony between opposing forces, encouraging trust and intuition, and adapting to change. This is also my twin flame card. Glow up. So, first off, with number 2 coming out in your career and finance energy, there might be a partnership that you might be going into. Also, the harmony between opposing forces, that the energy for that message kind of called out toward me. So there might be a situation in your work environment that might be conflicting or has had a lot of conflict in the past. Like maybe you and another coworker, you and a supervisor, you and your work schedule. I don't know. Maybe something wasn't always cohesive, but in the near future, things are going to start becoming more harmonious. With glow up, something could be actually what I'm getting from that is something could be actually happening in your personal life, right? That's giving you a glow, and it's changing your attitude and disposition in general. And at work, because it's changing your overall disposition, it's taking it's taking effect even at work. It's taking effect in everything that you do, and people are starting to notice it. Sagittarius. Some of you all could be dealing with the Sagittarius. Some of you all might have Sagittarius highly aspected in your chart. Some of you all might be embodying some Sagittarius characteristics when it comes to your career and finance. Singer. Some of you all may be singers. Okay. Okay. Okay, so something happened. I guess I got a call. A call came in and I didn't know, and the screen went blank. I'm sorry about that, guys. So if you guys didn't hear, I was saying that some of you guys might be dealing with the Sagittarius. Some of you all may have Sagittarius highly aspected in your chart or embodying certain Sagittarius characteristics regarding your career and finance. Some of you all may be singers, and then artists popped out. So some of you guys could be songwriters. Some of you guys could be collaborating with a singer. And then you got public assistants. So as far as collaborations go with the public assistants, I think that's really something that might be taking place in the near future. I got popular on the back of the deck. I never checked the back of the deck energy on my signs and synchronicities deck. And for whatever the reason, it stood out to me just now. So some of you all may be gaining a lot of popularity, especially if you guys are singers, artists, rappers, songwriters, something to do with music. Okay. So next we have pain. So maybe there's been a hurtful situation that's happened to you on the job. Maybe some of you all have actually literally gotten hurt on the job. Heavy on the workman's comp with the public assistance. Obsession, infatuation, adoration, and addiction. Then you got stress. So some of you guys could be dealing with some stress on the job. It might be distracting you from your daily tasks or making it a struggle to come to work every day. Divine masculine. So some of you all might be doing hard labor. Some of you all might be in your divine masculine energy when it comes to your job. Some of you all may be in leadership positions. Some of you all may be the type of person that has to take on the role of giving orders to others. Boundaries. So some of you guys are having to step into an energy of asserting your boundaries at work. Yeah, some of you all may be having to step into an energy of asserting your boundaries when it comes to work. No, I can't work late. No, I can't come in that day. I have a very important engagement. No, just no. And you know what's funny? I didn't even read what's on here until I finished saying what I was saying. And no, just the word no is there, along with drawing the line and enough. Then you got exhaustion. Okay, so you know what I'm getting from this? Some of you all are just tired of this job. I don't know if there's like workplace drama. I don't know if there's like gossiping. I don't know if someone is abusing their power. I don't know if there is a power struggle dynamic at your job, or someone is not being empathetic to your schedule outside of work, or what is going on, or if you just work an emotionally stressful and draining job. There's this job that is popular out here where I live, and it has to do with caring for the mentally ill. It is quite literally one of the best paying jobs out here. And for the people that do work there, they do make really good money and they have awesome job security. But for the people who worked there and left, the stories that I hear about, like, the pay could never compensate what we have to deal with. It's just a very stressful job. And I'm kind of getting those kind of vibes from this. It doesn't have to be that necessarily, but whatever this is, it's very emotionally draining. And with the singer and the artist here and the glow up here, even the number 2 here, it looks like you guys are looking for a new partnership elsewhere when it comes to work. It's like you're sticking it out. you're sticking it out at your job, but you can't help but like try to work on something elsewhere because your job is stressing you out, clinging, right? I don't know if you guys make a lot of money there. Maybe you guys make a lot of money with the clinging card. You know, you're not in a position to let go, but you also don't like it. And then you got distance. Yeah. So you're even like finding yourself like trying to mentally and emotionally detach yourself from the fact of having to have this job. Like you try to go to a happy place even though you're physically there. Let's pull some career and finance oracles. You got roll the dice. Let me pick this up really quick so I can read it. Time to put yourself out there. You are hiding your talents, and it's time to take a risk and step into the spotlight now. Yeah, this is definitely giving me artist energy. Some of you guys out there are artists. You don't have to be a singer. You could be a painter. You could be someone who does animation. You could be someone who illustrates books. You could be a writer. You could be an author. You could be an actor. You know what I'm saying? You could do little short films or skits. You could be a dancer. You could do just about anything creative. And whatever that is, Spirit wants you to roll the dice, to take a chance on something else. Nobody is telling you to quit your job now. I still want you to be able to pay your bills, because how you going to have the gas to get to that audition if you're an actor? You know what I'm saying? How are you going to fund that book if you decide to go the self-publishing route? You know what I'm saying? I'm by all means, you know what I'm saying? Not telling you to leave that job, right? But at the same time, you gotta take a chance on yourself and step into the spotlight. Spotlight can be a scary place. More career oracles for my Scorpios. We got perspective. If you change the way you look at things, you could see everything in a brand new light that will help you get where you want to be. So maybe you need to change your perspective about this job. Maybe you can look at this job as a part of the process for your singing career or whatever creative endeavor it is that you're doing. It's a part of, like, just like you're not a driver. You don't have to say, "Oh, I'm a driver," but you do get in your car to go to your auditions, and that's just as important of a part as going to the actual audition and showing out. You get what I'm saying? It's just as important as learning your lines and running your lines until you have them down pat. It's just as important, because what does it matter if you know all your lines if you didn't never make it to the audition? So you can just look at it as whatever job you have. Maybe you're a home aide or something. I don't know. I don't know why I keep getting something in the medical field. I just do. Like, let's say you're like some kind of home aide. You don't have to consider yourself a home aide. If you feel like ultimately this is what you are, or an artist is what you are, or a creator in general is what you are, consider yourself that, and look at your job as a means to meet an end. Then you have freedom. You need to have more flexibility with your schedule and income. Being self-employed is ideal. Time off will help you get clear. So for some of you, you guys are so fed up with your job, you just don't want to go back. It's so emotionally draining that you find it hard to focus on anything else once your workday is over. And for those of you that feel just that drained from this job, you might need to take some time off just to get clear on your perspective, just to get clear on your purpose, your goal, on where you're going and how you're going to get there. Okay, then we got innovation. You'll need to come up with a new strategy to keep your plans in motion. Old ways are outdated. Invent, create, and test ideas. So this reading is very heavy on creative energy. I must got a lot of creators out there that's going to resonate with this message, because this message is heavy on creative energy. Then you have in the flow. The universe is sending you help. Tap into your inner power and go deeper to create the purposeful life you really want to have. So there is an inner network inside of you, a driving force. And I think that's why it is so hard for you to go to this job right now, because something inside of you is calling you, calling for your attention. You can feel it, you can hear it, and it's hard to ignore it. And so it almost feels like you're betraying yourself when you give so much of yourself to this job you hate. That's the energy that I'm getting off of that card. Now I'm going to pull some tarot, and we're going to clarify some of these cards. So for glow up here, why did you put glow up here, Spirit? What is this? The Three of Pentacles. Interesting. Someone is going to see you out here doing your thing. Once you finally get started on this creative project, someone is going to see all the passion and the love and the care that you put into this thing, and how good you look doing it with the glow up card here. And they're going to want to be a part of that with you. They're going to want to collaborate with you. They're going to want to help you. Why is the number 2 here, Spirit? The Seven of Pentacles. So this is about putting in the work, even when you're unsure of whether or not it's going to yield the results that you want. With the 2 card here, though, this is about duality. So there are going to be days when you feel a little bit more passionate about your job than you do your creative endeavor, only because it's what's paying the bills. And you're going to come home tired some days, right? And you're going to wonder to yourself, is all of I'm working, it's like I'm working 2 jobs, but I'm only getting paid by one. Is this other thing worth it? Because I am getting tired. I am burnt out. All I'm doing is investing. Is it even going to be worth it? And Spirit wants you to know that even though it's not going to be easy, this is what's necessary. You're going to have to master duality for this one. And there's just no way out of that. There's just no way out of it, and there's no way around it. And you're going to come out stronger, and you're going to come out better for it. And you're going to come out with your desired results. You just have to stay faithful. What is the public assistance? What is that? You got the 7 of Wands here. Clarity on that 7 of Wands. Why the 7 of Wands for public assistance? The 9 of Swords. Okay, so other people are trying to impose their beliefs onto you. So maybe there are people who know that you are working on your creative endeavors. You're going on this creative journey, and they're giving you their 2 cents about it. And it's giving you anxiety. And Spirit wants you to have a 7 of Wands mentality, which is basically stand your ground. None of these people get to tell you how to do, what to do, none of that. They don't get to do any of that. What is obsession? Why is that here, Spirit? The Page of Pentacles. Okay. So some of you aren't just in the thinking stage of this creative project. Some of you all are actually sowing seeds as we speak. And you got the Page of Pentacles reversed. So some of you are like at the point where it's like, well, by now I should be seeing results. I don't see the good news. I don't get it. Like what's to it? Like what's to this? Like why aren't I getting the kind of results that I feel like I should get? You guys are almost obsessing about the outcome or the reward at this point. What advice do you have for my Scorpios for this feeling of inadequacy? Okay, so the Four of Swords, is a card of being like going into solitude, but you got it reversed here. So that's almost like Spirit telling you to get out of your head about it. Like stop thinking so hard about it. More advice on this obsession for Scorpio. Wow. The same card came out again. I mean, it's not the same card, but it's a very similar message. The Eight of Swords reversed. The Eight of Swords is about, it's like being in a mental prison. But with it being reversed, it's like get out of your head, basically. Pain. Why is pain here for Scorpio? You don't feel like you're strong enough to do this. Okay, and now I'm here at the exhaustion. Why did exhaustion come out for Scorpio? The King of Swords. Okay, you're trying to find the logic in something that cannot be rationalized right now, right? Not saying that there isn't any logic behind it, but right now you are in the phase of believing to achieve. You can come up with a solid plan. You can execute that plan. You can set a goal and you can stick to the plan until you reach the goal. But until you reach the goal, no, there's no proof that what you're doing is going to work. No, there isn't. And you're exhausted trying to come up with surefire plans and just being logical about the situation. But the thing about this is that you can't be in a logical space when it comes to this. This is something that requires belief without proof. This is something that requires faith. This is something that requires your intuition. This is not a head over heart situation. Yes, you do have to. That's why divine masculine energy came out. Yes, you do have to get in your masculine energy and execute your plan. But there is so much more divine feminine energy that is required in this specific time than you realize. You have to really tap into your intuition. You have to really feel with your heart and follow your heart and do what feels right and let spirit guide you. And the only way you're going to let spirit guide you is if you honest to God, honest to goodness, follow your heart. Don't get me wrong. I'm not telling you to be irrational. I'm not. I don't want you to be irrational. That's not what I'm telling you to do. I'm not telling you to be irrational. I still want you to use your logic. Because remember, you do have to execute a plan. You do have to set a goal. Your rationality will come to play at some point throughout this journey. It's just that the motivation and the inspiration that it's going to take to stick to it is going to come from an intuitive place. What is boundaries? Why is boundaries here? The moon. Okay. There are people with hidden intentions. You got hidden people with hidden intentions in your energy, right? And you're going to have to use your intuition with the moon here. You're going to have to use your intuition because they're never going to just say outright to you, yeah, we make your life hard at work every day because we don't like you. We've all decided we don't like you and we talk about you behind your back. Nobody's going to come and say that to you. Nobody's going to come and say that to you. But when you walk in a room and it feels funny, nobody said a word. Nobody's done anything mean to you. But you walked in that room and you felt that energy shift and you could feel that you're not welcome there. That is your truth. And no, you don't have to persecute nobody about it either. You felt that shift. Now it's time for you to shift. Shift yourself right on up out that environment until you can permanently leave that environment. Start protecting yourself with your boundaries. People don't have to have access to you. They don't. They're not entitled to your kindness. They're not entitled to your smile. They're not entitled to your conversation. You have hidden people with hidden agendas around you, and they're waning on your energy. And the only reason they're doing it is because you're going against your intuition. You can feel that weird feeling when you're around these people, but you're not necessarily acting on it because you don't feel entitled to believing or acting on how you feel. But your feelings are valid. If you don't feel right when you're around this person, your intuition is screaming at you, get away from them. They're sucking up your energy and they're making you feel what? Exhausted. They're making you feel exhausted. They're making you feel exhausted. That's why you're so tired after work. More advice about the boundaries, the Two of Swords. Yeah. Okay, so something's got to come to the light. Something has got to come to the light with the Two of Swords reversed. The Two of Swords is in the original Rider-Waite tarot deck. She's holding two swords. She's got a blindfold on. She can't see what's in front of her. She doesn't know what's behind her. All she knows is that she's holding two swords that she's trying to balance out, but she has no idea what each sword represents. And so for some people, this is about trying to choose between two relationships, right? So for you, for some of you, this could be trying to choose between this job or trying to choose between your creative endeavors. For others of you, this is about choosing yourself and choosing other people, or both, or both. Because while you're on this job that clearly has some toxic stuff going on, until you can leave, you're going to have to learn how to coexist with these people that you work with, and coexisting with them with these hidden intentions like this that make you feel exhausted at the end of the day. That's just not going to fly. You're going to have to learn how to set some boundaries. People don't have to have access to you. And whatever access they do have to you, you can decide exactly how much access they have. No one is entitled to you. Okay. So now let's move on to in the flow. Spirit, why is in the flow here? Okay, so 2 cards. They want to be seen. You got the High Priestess reversed. Spirit is trying to tell you that this you guys' theme right now for this reading is intuition. Because the High Priestess is all about intuition. And with her being in reverse, Spirit is saying you're not listening to your intuition as much as you could. This In the Flow card is a message that is inviting you to get into your inner power. Your inner power, which is your intuition. And then you got the Eight of Pentacles. This is something that Spirit wants you to work at. With you doing something creative, could it be that it's not that you're so much exhausted from work that you can't create, but that you spend so much time in a logical headspace when you're at work that it's hard to tap into that creative energy? It's like a switch. It's like learning how to flip a switch. You know how I don't know if you've ever been to a job meeting. I'm a school bus driver, so we have meetings about all kinds of things. And one of the mottos that I hear on a regular basis at these meetings is leave your baggage at the door. When you come to work, you're here to work. Do not bring whatever's going on with you in your personal life through that door, because we work with kids, right? So if I'm stressed out in my relationship, or if I'm stressed out with my own kids, or if I'm stressed out about my bills and I bring my frustration to work, well, when I snap, guess what? I'm around kids all day. Ain't nothing to snap on but a child, and that is not okay. You get what I'm saying? So I think here, um, so we get that they drill that message into our heads about flipping that switch all the time. And I think here for you've got to learn how to flip your switch. You've got to learn how to shift between your divine feminine energy and your divine masculine energy. And realistically, even though there's a lot of difficulty in this situation, when I say if you can do that, that is literally self-mastery. If you can learn how to move between your masculine energy and your feminine energy with ease, and know when is the appropriate time to use your masculine energy, and know when the appropriate time to use your feminine energy is, and to be able to interchange at will, you would be a beast. There's nothing that you would not be able to accomplish, literally. So this is almost as if this is the type of situation, this is something that avoid in you. And this situation only exists because you are trying to manifest something that requires you to have this skill. You prayed for something and Spirit is trying to give it to you, but first Spirit has to make you ready for it. If I told you I want to sail the 7 seas, well, first I got to learn how to do a boat. I don't know, what is it called? Drive a boat. I don't know. I don't even know what you call it. I would have to learn everything about knowing how to use a boat, including the terminology on what it's called to make a boat float on water. You get what I'm saying? So I can't just say, Spirit, I want to sail the 7 seas. And then I'm just going to wake up one morning and I'm going to be on a boat sailing the 7 seas. No, there's a process that comes along with that, because we are in the third dimension. We're not in the fifth dimension. The fifth dimension is where we get our wisdom, is where our intuition comes from, is where our guidance comes from, is where our help comes from, is where our higher perspective comes from, but it is not where we exist. So while we can create and we can send up prayers and we can visualize certain types of realities in the fifth dimension from the third dimension, in order to make it a reality in the third dimension, there are certain checks and balances. There are laws that we have to adhere to on this third dimension. And so it just looks like all of this difficulty is shaping you and molding you for a specific purpose. And only you know what that purpose is, because you know what you prayed for. You know what you prayed for. If you said you want to be a millionaire, well, one of the things you're going to have to learn is money management. You get what I'm saying? If you pray to be an entertainer, then yes, you're going to have to know how to use your feminine energy, because feminine energy is what creates. But you're also going to have to use your masculine energy, because your masculine energy is what is going to book your shows. It's what is going to book your studio time. It's what is going to book, I don't know, help you with record sales, help you figure out your money, budget, be your accountant. That is the kind of duality that is required. There's duality in all things, but for you specifically, there is a duality that needs to come together to become harmonious with the two. With the two. That was the very first message, which is harmony. There's a harmony that's got to take place within your own duality. So let's do your overall energy. What is my Scorpio's overall energy towards career and finances right now? The Six of Pentacles. You feel like you need help. Is this the card that said it? Let me see. There's a card that said something about help. Not this one. Is it roll the dice? I don't know. Let's see. Okay, if you change the way you look at things, you could see everything in a brand new light that will help you get where you want to be. Okay, so perspective talks about help. But you feel like you need help. And with the in the flow and changing your perspective, help is on the way, but you have to be in an intuitive space in order to receive it. It's not going to come in the form of necessarily other people. It's going to come in the form of little nudges and following your heart. The messages are going to come to your heart, and you're going to have to follow your heart. So you're going to have to work with that heart chakra and make sure that you got your heart space open so that you can be in a position to receive. You also got the Six of Wands. The Six of Wands is a card of victory. That's your overall energy. So you are crushing it in reality. It may be hard, but yes, you go to work every day and you come home and you work on your passions, and that's just that. And you haven't stopped yet. You're still on your way. And all the only thing left for you to do is to step out into the spotlight and share your gift with the world. What is Scorpio's overall advice regarding their career and finances? You got the Three of Wands, which is about setting goals, setting clear and realistic plans. The Page of Swords. The Page of Swords is a very curious page. He's our most curious page. He's the page that gets all the information that he possibly can on a specific subject. He also is a networker. He doesn't care where the information is. He will go and get it. He doesn't care where the leg up is. If it's another person, then let's talk. You're my new friend. That's the Page of Swords. So that's your advice as well. One more card for Scorpio's advice for their career and finance. The Ace of Swords. Okay. So there's some breakthrough that needs to be had. There's something that's still hidden from you. And it doesn't just have to do with people. It has to do with something that's inside of you. There's something that's blocking your intuition. And it is your homework to find out what is keeping you from being completely in tune or in the flow with your intuition. What things are going to be coming towards my Scorpios in the near future regarding their finances that they don't see coming? Hierophant. So some of you all might be going back to school. That's for those of you all, even if you are pursuing something creative. What if you want to be a producer, but you don't know how to engineer music? Some of you all might be taking classes. What if you want to learn how to do computer animation? You don't just want to know how to draw because the future is in AI and all this stuff. What if you want to do animation on the computer so that you can actually enter the job force with your artwork? You might have to go back to school, even if it has something to do with music. What if you want to learn an instrument? You're a singer, but you also want to be able to use an instrument. Someone is going to have to teach you. Maybe you won't go back to school, but you might have to pay somebody to give you classes. What's something else that my Scorpios don't see coming towards them in the near future about their career and finance? We got the Queen of Pentacles reversed. Why the Queen of Pentacles reversed? Spirit, why is she reversed here? The Nine of Wands. Queen of Pentacles. Nine of Wands. The Sun. Okay. So for some of you all, you might get distracted on some things because you're going to feel like you have to protect something else. Maybe your schedule is going to get so busy that you're only going to be able to focus on your work for a little while. Or you're going to get so busy with your creative pursuits that you really are going to have to take some time off here with the Freedom card. Yeah, you might actually really have to take some time off. And you're not going to be excited about this. You're not necessarily going to be excited about this. What advice do you have for my Scorpios, given that they might come into a situation where they feel like they have to choose one thing over the other? The Judgment card. Okay, so when that time comes, whatever choice you make peace with it. Don't be upset. The time will come for each thing. If you have to split your attention, if you have to go from splitting your attention to getting laser focused on one thing, then so be it. Then so be it. One thing might have to suffer a little bit for another, and that's okay. At least you're in control of your destiny and you've made that judgment call. Back of the deck, the Page of Cups. Yeah, you're going to be very unhappy about this with it being in reverse. But don't let that, embrace the fact that this is part of your journey. Just embrace it. Some things thrive while other things have to go on the back burner. You've been crushing it. You've been balancing. You've been doing that. You've been doing an awesome job up to this point. And who's to say that the reason why you decide to focus on one thing is because you finally reached the end of something and it's time to wrap it up. In a minute, you're getting ready to have something to show for all of your hard work. And that's why you have to go and spend a little bit of extra time on this one thing versus the other. What is the overall outcome? Okay, so you got the Two of Cups, the Knight of Wands. Okay, so some of you guys might be in a position to where after you do this, you guys might be in a position to actually leave that job with the Knight of Wands reversed. The Knight of Wands reversed is a disloyal knight. He comes in, he's hot and cold. And in reality, you've been kind of hot and cold with your job. You don't like it there. There's a lot of pain on this board. It's a lot of pain on this board. So you've been hot and cold with this job. And finally, with the Two of Cups, you've moved in complete and total harmony with something else. And so the overall outcome is that eventually you will be able to leave this job, just as long as you follow your heart and you do what's necessary. Okay, so that was you guys' career and finance reading. I hope that helped, and I will see you guys on the next one.